But here's a couple of more theories that fit why people make irrational decisions when it comes to relationships. Typically, when people are in love and having sex, the biggest chemicals that kick in are things like dopamine, and there's some other stuff like phenylethylamine and oxytocin. And what happens is that when you're having orgasms with this other person, the dopamine and the oxytocin kick in, which makes you irrational, makes you almost like a crackhead, especially when you're young and you've never hit the pipe before, you've never had the crack before. So you fall in love and you just swear that this person is the greatest thing since sliced chicken. A lot of you have seen this. And so what happens is that the dopamine creates, I want to say, three sensations in the person in the relationship. One, there's a euphoria, there's a high, a really good feeling. Number two, there is a closeness. You feel very close to the person, even if it's the next thing you know, you're getting all snuggled up with a cockroach because because the sex is so good. And then number three, there's relaxation. You feel very relaxed around the person. You let your guard down, stuff like that. That's how people get exploited and taken advantage of. A lot of hobosexuals take advantage of that. The hobosexuals are the men that go and sleep with lonely older women for money. So they give them really good sex, and then when you let your guard down, he comes and takes all your money. I've seen that happen. All right, so another theory is something called loss aversion, and so a lot of people believe that signing a prenup is like planning for failure. Like you're sort of saying that we're planning to get a divorce. And because most people fear loss, because most people are afraid of the loss, like I'm afraid of losing you, then I'm not going to plan for losing you because I want to believe that I'm never going to lose you. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm saying? Like this is a big reason why a lot of Black people don't plan for funerals and funeral expenses or life insurance. A lot of families have no talks about life insurance because they don't want to imagine mama being dead. They don't want to imagine daddy being in a casket. So because you don't want to imagine your mama, daddy, sister, brother, sibling, child, whatever in a casket, you just block it out. You're experiencing what prospect theory refers to as loss aversion. You're so scared of the loss that you make no plan for the loss. So then when the loss actually inevitably occurs, something like death, then you get screwed financially. Next thing you know, you're on GoFundMe begging the church to help you bury your daddy. Third, there's something I mentioned cognitive dissonance. We talked about that, so I'm not going to go over that again. There's also fear of conflict. So those who are conflict avoidant, who don't want to have any smoke with their partner, who think about this, a manipulator, if they're trying to get your money, then every time you bring up something like a prenup, they're gonna say, "What? You don't love me? Well, I thought you really cared about me." And then the ladies, y'all are really good at it. You ever see like a really manipulative woman, and she knows, like some of y'all can just cry on cue, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just so hurt," and we're like, "Oh, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to feel bad." And okay, we ain't got to do the prenup. So really, gold diggers are really good at this. I think they go to school for this. I think they all go to Juilliard or something. There's like a gold diggers division or something. And so, long story short, the conflict avoidant person in a relationship will not sign the prenup because they don't want to get all the smoke that's going to come back from their partner when the partner realizes that this could actually end, or they actually sense that you might be on some BS. And then the last one is something called the sunk cost fallacy. This is interesting. It says here, after investing emotionally and financially into the relationship, individuals often feel that suggesting a prenup implies wasted effort. So they sort of think that because I've invested so much in this relationship, remember, relationships are an investment. Relationships are one of the biggest investments you'll ever make. We talk about this. I talk about investing all the time. My doctorate's in investing, and I can tell you the biggest relationship you'll ever make won't be money. It's going to be in people, and those should be the biggest investments. Like you invest in people. For example, if you invest in people while you're young, they'll take care of you when you're old. So a lot of older people who have nobody there for them, they didn't invest in people when they were young, largely in many cases because maybe they didn't have time for a relationship because they were so busy serving their corporate master on some job. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good trade-off for you because your job's not going to show up at the hospital when you're 72 years old with cancer, right? So with that being said, your biggest investments are with people, but it has to be the right investments with the right people. So basically, with circling back to the sunk cost fallacy, it kind of says that because you've invested so much in this person, you just say, you know what, forget it. I'm in. I've hit the point of no return. I'm all in, and if it doesn't work out, then I just lose everything. And I think that is just very bad investing.